and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing more uni tips and tricks, and these are basically things you should do as soon as you move in to university accommodation. So the first thing you're going to do when you move into university accommodation, and probably the most important if you want to keep your deposit, is take pictures and videos of basically everything. If there is a scratch on the wall, a bit of loose paint, anything, take a picture of it, put it on the inventory. Even if you don't put this stuff on the inventory, just make sure you have a picture of it with the date of when you moved in. Personally, I like to do both pictures and videos because videos you can get more of like a feel and stuff, but make sure you do that because then when they try find you at the end of the year, you can be like, this was there before I moved in, so you can't find me. Basically. Saves you a bit of money, make sure you can keep your deposit. Would also recommend doing this in the corridors, bathrooms, kitchen, basically everywhere, just having that evidence that you know that if there was any marks, anything that was there, that you have it on file, so if they do try to say, oh well, you caused this damage, you can prove that you didn't cause this damage. If you are sticking things up on your wall with white tack, command hooks, anything like that, stuff can sometimes pull the paint off, so what you're going to want to get is a tester pot. You can get these from Wilko's and basically try and match the wall as close as possible to this colour in this pot. Cost around £5, which is worth it in the long run because basically it covers any marks you left on the wall and they won't take it out of your deposit because it would cost more in your deposit. Really, I like to get these before like the last term because the last term they're usually sold out, especially if you're living in, you know, big university accommodation. Everyone's trying to find them. So get it pretty early on, get a close shade match, and then you're good to go with your deposit. So before you move in, it's probably not a good idea to actually buy your food. Maybe something like the essentials like pasta, things like that, but stuff for the fridge freezer, wait until you've actually moved in and you can see how much fridge freezer space you've got, because you don't want to get there and there be like next to no freezer space and you're like, oh well, I've got all this frozen food, what am I meant to do with this? So once you move to your university accommodation, then I recommend you see how much space you've got, make sure you get yourselves a drawer, make sure you get yourself the correct amount of space by just placing stuff in it, and then go and get the actual products. When you move in, a lot of your flatmates moving in at the same time, and it's a great opportunity for your first like hello, basically. So when I know a lot of people when they moved in they got a doorstop. Technically at a lot of accommodations you're not actually allowed doorstops because the doors are fire doors, but when you're moving in just make sure you're sensible with it. If you know you leave the flat, take it out, but if you're there, a doorstop's fun because it just allows people to have a quick look in and say hello. It's kind of nice, it's like a first introductionary kind of thing. Personally, when I'm a bit of a clean freak, and when they say that they deep clean your room, they do not deep clean your room. When I moved in first year there was like paper clips and stuff in the drawers. When I moved in second year there was hair like all over the room, so yeah, you might want to give it a quick, you know, just get some kind of like antibacterial wipes, give it a wipe over. Just a little bit of a tip for you there, especially if you're putting like a toothbrush down flat on a surface, anything like that. Just give everything kind of a once over before you put everything down, just to kind of make sure everything's like hygienic for you. That is personally, that's not something you have to do, but for me, I was aware that they were not cleaning those rooms properly, so you just kind of want to, you know, give it the once over. Before you've made your bed, check underneath the mattress if there is any extra storage under there. Usually there's quite a big space, but usually you have to pick up the mattress to get to it, so it can be a little bit more difficult getting to it. It just depends on the accommodation, but that's a great place if you want to store a suitcase, but you do have to lift the mattress up, which can kind of be a faff. When you're putting your bedding on for the first time, make sure you get a mattress protector and put the mattress protector on the mattress. That just again saves you from getting fined at the end of the year because you do not want to get fined, and it just protects the mattress from getting any damage on it, which you don't want to do. Freshers Week is busy. Freshers Week is very, very busy. There's usually arranged events, loads of events, and you're going to be going out a lot if that's your thing. You're going to be kind of exploring this new place. You might not have as much time, so a really great idea for this first week is get a lot of like ready meals because it just makes life easier, especially if you are coming to uni. You know, your parents might do a food shop for you as their first, you know, settling in food shop, so you can get some ready meals there. It just makes life easier and it makes sure that you are still eating, you know, enough to go out and stuff. So whether it's pot noodles, worst come to worst, or like a more substantial like microwave ready meal, get some of them. They are pretty good, especially if you're running low on time but you still need to eat. Just a little bit of a tip for Freshers Week especially. You may have brought alcohol to uni, but when you first move in you don't really know your flatmates. Personally, with me, it just depends on who your flatmates are. If you trust your flatmates, you know your flatmates, blah blah blah, it's fine to leave your alcohol in the kitchen, shared spaces. But if you don't, they may take your alcohol. Like, that is quite a common thing where people, you know, just take it here and there, and then you're like, oh, I have none left. So if that's something you're kind of concerned about, don't leave any alcohol or any kind of valuables in the kitchen, at least just while you're getting to know the people. Personally, I did leave my alcohol in the kitchen. No one took it. I think it really just depends on your flatmates and what they're like, but it's quite a common thing that does happen at uni, so be aware of that. First evening, you do not want to be spending it on FaceTime crying to your parents. Trust me, I've been there, you know. But what you want to do is you want to try your absolute best to get out there, speak to your flatmates. If there's any kind of events going on, try go to them. I know it's really, really difficult, but these are some of the best places to make friends. I actually met my best friend on the first, like, meet-up kind of thing we had at university. They lived in the flat upstairs, and yeah, if I hadn't gone to that event or whatever because I'd been upset, then I wouldn't have done that. So make sure that you're not just like FaceTiming people from home and parents and stuff the whole week. Obviously, make sure you let them know you're okay. They will be worried, they will be missing you as well, but you want to make sure that you are spending time with your flatmates. That also goes with like putting all your stuff away. Make sure you put quite a lot of your stuff away, but don't spend your whole first week organising everything, because then like you're not going to spend enough time with your flatmates, and it's kind of like the best time to bond with them, really. If you are going to university and you don't drink alcohol, you're worried because you don't drink alcohol, it's not your kind of scene, don't panic. There is a lot of like non-drinking socials. They can be just as fun, if not more fun. You do not have to drink, and you can go on these like drinking socials where people do drink without drinking. You don't have to drink at university, it's completely up to you. I personally did drink, but I know a lot of people, and I was personally friends with people who didn't. It just really depends. I know some universities, including Lancaster University where I went, actually had like a non-drinking like society, and they went on like adventures and stuff and did their own little like stuff. So just be aware that that is a thing, just in case you are worried about that. And also, if you do drink alcohol or you've not drunk a lot of alcohol before, don't go overboard in Freshers Week. A lot of people do that. Go a sensible amount. Go a sensible amount, but don't go overboard. Be sensible. It's your first time meeting these new people. Maybe go not as hard on the first night, but go might tell you what to do. Have as much fun as you want, but just be aware that like, be sensible. Especially because your first time away from home, you might go a bit overboard, but sensible. I sound like such a fun sponge. I'm just like, please be safe. It's my tip. In terms of homesickness, I've mentioned don't like call your family like constantly the whole week. Just be like, I couldn't do it, because it's just gonna make you feel more homesick. Same with going home. People who go home on like the first weekend, are wasting a lot of like valuable time you could spend getting to know new flatmates, getting to know new societies, that sort of thing. So personally, I would recommend not going home maybe the first couple of weekends, if that's something you can do. Obviously, it's not something for everyone, but if that's something you can do, a bit of a tip there. In terms of making you less homesick, a thing that really helped for me is making my bedroom look homely. Because when you move into university accommodation, it is blank. It's essentially a blank canvas that you can kind of decorate. Be aware, some accommodations don't allow decorations that you stick on walls. If they do room inspections, be careful if you do stick stuff on walls. Yeah. But at the end of the day, people stick stuff on walls. I stick stuff on walls. If you use white tack, that's usually okay, and command hooks. And again, if you just get the tester pots and cover up any damage afterwards, that should be fine. I think just having your room as like a nice homely space. I had like a little wall full of Polaroids, and I got to add Polaroids of me and then my new friends. It was really sweet and stuff. Fairy lights are always a shout. They're really good because it just makes your room kind of like feel homely and cozy, and also it's good in the night, like, because especially if you have like the button plug near your bed, because then you can turn it on and walk to the bathroom, because obviously it's a new room, you might walk into things. Not speaking from personal experience. So some things you might do to make your room homely is have plants. My personal advice is to bring fake plants, simply because you are away from your accommodation at the end of the terms for like a month, and you don't want them to die in that month. It just really depends what kind of plants you have, and if you can take them home, that's great. Yeah, just be aware of that. You don't want your plants to die, because then you'll be sad. Or some of my tips for, you know, settling in and some of the first things you should be doing when you move into your uni accommodation. Hope these helped, and let me know if you have any more tips and tricks in the comments to help people out. I know starting university can be a very, very stressful experience, and having these videos can really, really help, so I'm just kind of trying to offer my wisdom. Make sure you like and subscribe for more uni tips videos. I also do vlogs and stuff. If you want to check them out, that'd be really cool. If you're going to Lancaster, even better, because I've done so many videos about my experience at Lancaster, so you can check them out as well. Hope you have a really, really great day, and I hope you enjoy your time at university.